What is the greatest country on Earth? Judging by the thumbnail, it seems to be Canada. And the only thing that I know that came from Canada is Hawaiian pizza. So maybe they are the greatest because I really enjoy Hawaiian pizza, which is such a lukewarm take now, thankfully, because I need more places to offer it. But yeah, let's see why Canada is seemingly the best one. Ooh-wah. With this video by Casually Explained, the greatest country on Earth. Check it out down below, and let's get into it. I've never been to Canada. I've never left the States at all.
Video is sponsored by Saley.
Where?
Canada is the second largest country in the world by landmass, and
Wow.
despite having only 40 million people, it has a massively outsized
Only
global
40
impact.
million. How many does America have? I don't know.
Firstly, our flag is objectively the best humanity has come up
I mean, it is a cool flag, but the best? I don't think so.
with so far, and the only one that rivals us is when Japan powers up for 2 episodes and then sends their navy to commit war crimes. Secondly, ask any American to name one non-economic metric that America does better than Canada, and they'll say, what's a metric? Most importantly, America likes to brag they put man on the moon, but Canada put women in leggings. Welcome to the 21st century. Now, even though Canada is known as the Great White North, if you look at the demographics of Vancouver, I'm in fact a minority. Despite my oppression, I live in harmony with other people, and Canada is a melting pot of cultures. From the West Coast to the East Coast, you have an enormous diversity of people. To illustrate the point, here we have the newlywed and nearly dead, then we have gays and Asians, then it goes Timu, Texas, Earth is flat, definitely flat, milk in a bag, gays, lobsters, potatoes, leprechauns. All the other territories are climate change insurance. Although it has a lot of similarities, Canadian culture is distinctly different from the US. As an example, Canada doesn't have the NFL, NBA, or MLB. We just have the NHL, which stands for No Houses Left. While we've tried nothing to solve this,
I don't care
we're
about
all
any
out of
any
ideas.
sports.
Because us cool Canadians on the West Coast who have pine trees and somewhat acceptable weather don't relate so much to everyone in the lame eastern provinces who have maple trees and funny accents, the Pacific Northwest has previously thrown around the idea of creating our own independent sovereign territory called Cascadia, which would mostly include British Columbia, Washington, and Oregon. The idea came about when we asked ourselves if an economy could be sustained purely by fishermen, lumberjacks, and pride parades. And while haters say that men shouldn't be in women's sports, no other country is ever beating us at Olympic drag. Sometimes English-speaking Canadians get a little sad because we don't have much in our culture that is distinctly Canadian and not influenced by the United States. But that's exactly the beauty of it. One of the best parts of being Canadian is traveling abroad, and when someone asks you, so where in the United States are you from? You get to experience the joy and relief on their face when you say you're from Canada. The fact of the matter is that Canadian and American culture is deeply intertwined. You might be European and think, you not Americans are all the same. You think life is only about working and making more money so you can consume.
Wrong. Life is about burger. Don't even work. Go in debt for the burger. Okay? You can buy fast food on a credit card. So do that.
More. Over here, we know what truly matters in life. 2 euro wine,
Baguette.
3 girlfriends,
Hell
one
yeah.
passport.
Hell yeah.
It's easy to say when you have time off to protest for more time off, but this jab doesn't faze us Canadians. Americans work long hours, complain a lot, and make a lot of money. Whereas Canadians work long hours. Similarly, the moment a Canadian goes to
Americans
Europe
do not make a lot.
Wait, everything's closed from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. and every Sunday?
Damn.
Every street is one way? Why does it look like they just tacked on traffic lights to 300-year-old cobblestone roads? Where's the street parking? Where are the highway systems to connect us to Costco?
Yeah.
We then suddenly become aware there isn't a single IHOP, Tim Hortons, Denny's, or 24/7 drive-thru literally anywhere, and we realize this isn't work-life balance.
Where are the Walmarts on every store? Where's the Dollar Tree? Where's my fast food?
This is some bullshit, and we stand with the Americans as our own brethren who especially do not tolerate being hungry under any circumstance.
Yeah.
When you ask someone to think of things that are for real Canadian and not American at all,
Hawaiian pizza. Hockey. Maple syrup. Is Justin Bieber Canadian? I'm thinking of someone else. Those are my things I think of when I think of Canada. 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 And my friend who's from Canada. Those are the only things I think of.
Only a few things that come to mind: beavers, moose, hockey, poutine,
Hockey.
rush, Nanaland, the big comfy couch, Terrence and Phillip, Little
Ooh.
Bear,
Yeah, Terrence
Franklin,
Phillip.
this cancer patient,
Ooh.
both Ryans and Nelly Furtado, Nathan Fielder, the Trailer Park Boys, the
Who?
Scourge of the Earth, and of course maple syrup.
Yeah.
What truly defines Canadian culture is how we measure things, as we're not just bilingual in
Burger.
both imperial and metric, but we also just make up measurements as we go along. People and objects are weighed in pounds, but not food. We measure that in grams and milliliters.
Okay.
We measure alcohol in mils and liters, but a bottle of gin is a 2/6 and a glass of wine is in ounces. A person's height is measured in feet and inches.
As it
short
should.
distances are also in feet, but if something is at the end of the block, we'll tell you it's like 50 meters away. Only old people use yards and miles. But that's okay, because all of us take pride in being able to poorly convert it to metric for you. Long distances are not measured in kilometers or miles, but are instead measured by the time it takes you to get there.
Okay.
All temperature is measured in Celsius, because Fahrenheit just makes no sense at all. This excludes
Which one
the
is
oven.
America?
That should
I
obviously
forget.
be in Fahrenheit, because we all know Celsius only goes up to 100. A major difference between Canada and the US is our slang. For example, what do you call this? We call
Coke.
this pop, while you guys call it soda. You call this
Nope.
a beanie, and we call it a toque.
Beanie.
We would say this is a washroom.
Bathroom.
You would call this a restroom.
Nope.
We would call this an ambulance, while you
Expensive.
call it filing for bankruptcy. We
Yeah.
like to say that went from 0 to 100 real quick, while you say 32 to 212. While Canadians are known for saying sorry a lot, it's not because we're
Sorry.
apologizing at all. We use it for every situation an American would say, excuse me, pardon me, huh, or oops. Trying to move past someone in the way, that's a sorry. Bumped someone accidentally, that's a sorry.
Sorry.
What did you say? That's a sorry.
Sorry.
Spilled your own drink? That's a sorry. Wait, that was your land? That's a sorry. For some reason, Americans find our words for things cute and endearing, while we're annoyed because that's just how we talk. I thought Americans were just giving us the Big Brother treatment until one time an American came into the souvenir store I worked at when I was 18 and was like, help me out with your Monopoly money. I can't make sense of it. And while people still say that all the time about our fabulous and indestructible bills, he instead dropped a handful of coins onto the table and then was like, okay, this one's a nickel, this one's a dime, and this one's a quarter. We have the same sort of thing back home, but what on earth are these things?
Dollar.
Okay, so that one's a loony?
Loony bin.
A what? Oh my god.
What are you calling me?
What's that worth? A dollar? It's got a loon on it. It's like a duck sort of thing. That's why we call it a I haven't seen that before.
Looney Tunes.
You Canadians really are something, aren't you? Okay, then what's this one worth? $2? What do you call this one? A double loony? And I was like, I don't want to tell you anymore.
Oh, what is it?
Anyway, before you ask, yes,
What
we
is
do
it?
throw them at strippers, and yes, they do die sometimes. If you ever wondered why your girlfriend always has random bruises on her legs and she says she doesn't know how they got there, now you know. At the end of the day, there's really only one way for Canada to be better than it is, which is if Air Canada were replaced by literally any other airline. Besides that, only a few suggestions have been worth considering, like when Trump threw around the idea of the United States becoming part of Canada.
We become Canada, yes. They should not become us. Or, wait. I want Canada to rule me. I don't want Orange to rule me.
While this would increase the amount of provinces we had to 60, it would require some sacrifices. First of all, the force field we built on the southern border would have been for nothing. Secondly, guns would be everywhere, particularly in my possession, causing a threat to general safety. While Americans would finally get universal health care, that would bankrupt us all. And while the little morsel of British education we still have in us would be cancelled out by the American education system, I'd finally be able to get a good brisket.
Good food, hell yeah. Get some nice southern barbecue. I've not had, like, southern chicken as much as I should as a southerner. But I love our sloppy barbecue stuff.
All in all, not a bad trade-off for America to be run by Canadians from here on out.
Hell yeah.
Now, if you're someone who's been threatening to move to Canada every 4 years if the guy you don't like gets in, you're
Actually, I say I'm gonna go to Japan.
when I get
that's
in,
even
there's nowhere to
further
go.
and safer
At least
way.
nowhere that's covered by your cell phone provider's roaming plan at a reasonable price, which is why today's sponsors.
Yep. Okay. There you go. If you want to use it, there you go. And what country is the greatest in your eyes? Huh? I think all countries have bad history, so saying one's the greatest is a little difficult. But let me know your opinion. Huh? Until next time, bye.